Hey guys, it's Maddie, and I look like hell this morning. I'm so sorry. There's a reason behind that and an explanation. Basically, I fell asleep with my makeup last night, and then I woke up super early, so I kind of have like makeup residue all over my face that I haven't cleaned off. I'm actually sitting in the Walmart parking lot, to be honest with you guys, and the reason being is I woke up and I checked my phone and I saw that there was a Groudon raid for Pokemon Go, and so like I raced down here so I could participate. I didn't catch it, but I still don't freaking have a Groudon. I'll never get one, I suppose. But so I look like hell. I have this nice like magenta stain on my cheek, which I can't tell you guys what that's about yet, but you will get to see very shortly on New Year's Eve, I believe, part of a collab that I'm in and working on, but it won't come off. That happened last night. So anyways, I look like hell, all because of Pokemon Go, because I'm addicted to that game. Anyways, on to today's main topic, and what I wanted to talk to you guys about is I want to talk to you guys about sexuality. And basically, I get a lot of questions about my sexuality in particular. I hear a lot of people talking about it. They're confused. Maybe they don't know, or maybe they do know, or they're, people don't accept them for it, or whatever the case is. But let's talk about sexuality today. So let's start off with what is my sexuality? And that's a really tough question for me because, honestly, I don't know. And you say, well, Maddie, you're almost gonna be like 29 in a couple days. Or a couple weeks, and what do you mean you don't know what your sexuality is? And I don't know, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think there's a lot of people who are actually in that same position who just don't admit it or don't acknowledge it or something like that. But my sexuality, I tend to prefer women. That tends to be who I'm attracted to the most, whether they be cis women or trans women. That doesn't really matter to me, because I count them all into the same category, so it's not a thing. But I tend to prefer women more. That's not saying I am not attracted to some men, whether they be trans or cis. Once again, the trans factor, let's just go ahead and eliminate that from this conversation. That doesn't matter to me. Doesn't matter to me at all. But I have been attracted to some men, so that's why I'm saying I don't know. I don't know if that makes me bi, I don't know if that makes me pan, because the whole trans topic doesn't really matter to me. So it's complicated. Sexuality is not black and white. I think for very, very few people it is black and white, where they just only prefer, one gender or sex or another or something like that. Because, I mean, you'd be hard-pressed to even find, like, a straight guy who doesn't say Brad Pitt's not attractive and good looking. So exhibit A, I do think people can be attracted even though they don't acknowledge it or admit it. Now, as you guys know, I don't really talk a lot about like my dating life and things like that, mostly because there isn't one. And so talking about it just depresses me and makes me look pathetic. So I tend to avoid that topic. And I probably will for the ongoing foreseeable future anyway, unless something just drastically changes that I feel like I need to clue you guys in on. But yeah, for me personally, I tend to be more attracted to women, but I am attracted to some men. And honestly, I mean, like, let's be real with one another. It seems like a huge shame that if I'm going to pay, like $25,000 or $30,000 for bottom surgery, that I'm not going to like test drive the the hardware at least once. That seems like it would be an awful waste. Sorry, I'm turning an even darker shade of red now than this like magenta stain, because wow, I am change of subject. This was a bad idea for a video. Stupid me thought it'd be good to talk about sexuality for some reason. Am I really turning that shade of red? Let me know in the comments below. I'm embarrassing myself even, just because it's not a topic that I normally discuss. I talk about it a lot with my psychologist though, and it's been the topic of several sessions and conversations, I suppose. And my whole thing with dating and sexuality in general, just because the two are related, I always have this, like, feeling, I suppose, that I'm not going to be able to make anyone else happy until I'm happy with myself. And even though I'm closer than I've ever been and I am happy, I don't feel like I'm there yet, just because my body still does not match the way that I feel. It's going to be changing in the coming years, which sounds terrible, but it's really not. I mean, I'm getting top surgery in possibly like 6-7 months. The exposure is just like flashing on and off on this. It's starting to get like blurred out or something. I apologize for that. Still working on my filmmaking skills. New Year's resolution number 1 is to get better at making videos for you guys, because let's face it, my entire channel is built on poor lighting and jump cuts. Also, as another side note, sorry I'm going off on a lot of tangents today. I don't know what this is about. I have like a lot of packages and mail and stuff that came in the P.O. box, so I will be making those in another video later on this week. I'll do the opening. Spoiler alert, I've already peeked at several of them, so I know what a lot of it is, and I'm really excited to show you guys, so that's a thing. But anyway, so back to sexuality. Stay focused, Maddie. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter who you're attracted to as long as that person makes you happy. I tend to fall in love with the person and the personality more so than like the sex or the gender of the person. And I don't know if that's how you guys are. It's just kind of the way I've always been, to where people's personalities, I think, are the most attractive quality for me. And so I tend to look at personalities first, and then, you know, looks and attractiveness tend to come second in my book. And then all that comes, you know, before what sex you are or anything like that. I mean, it's just not a big deal for me. Just because, you know, personality is important, just because your looks are going to fade. And you're going to be stuck with that same annoying person forever, so make sure you find somebody that you actually enjoy spending time with and being around. And that's kind of why I tend to look at that first. But once again, don't take it dating advice from me, because I've just been awful at it in my lifetime. You know, it was a game that I was, it was a game that I was never very good at playing, but at least I understood the rules. But like, now that I've like transitioned genders and stuff, like I feel like I'm not even really sure on the rules of the game anymore. So minor setback, but we'll figure that out and get past it. But yeah, I've been just awful. In fact, I think a lot of my ex-girlfriends actually watch my YouTube channel. I'm still friends with the majority of them. And so if you do, you know, hi, sorry, it's probably my fault. But yeah, I've just been terrible at dating in general, and I feel even more nervous to get back into it and starting to date again now that I've transitioned, because I feel like I'm completely starting over, and I'm going to have, you know, first dates, first kiss, all that stuff again, that I want to be really special. And I don't know, maybe I'm putting too much emphasis or weight onto it. If you're trans and you kind of went through this, let me know in the comment section below if you kind of felt this way, like if everything was a first again for you, or kind of how you handled that, because I feel like I'm more protective of myself now than I used to be. And sorry, there's like people all over this parking lot. It's very distracting while I'm trying to make a video. But let me know, like, I just tend to be more protective of myself, and I don't put myself out there as much, because I'm afraid that if I get hurt this time around, that it's going to hurt worse. Because, you know, before I could always understand and take it, like if, you know, my personality and their personality, we just didn't get along or match, and that's fine, because, you know, you're just not meant for each other. But now I feel like any problems or anything that comes up in a relationship is going to be because I'm trans. And that's just who I am. I can't help that. And so that would really hurt if that happens to be a reason that something didn't work out. I don't know. I like to think too far in the future and get way ahead of myself in thinking. Let me know if you guys are in the same boat, and if you have these same thoughts. I'd be really interested to know. Also, if it's your first time here, thanks so much for watching and sticking around. You're awesome. Hit the subscribe button down below to be even more awesome. I'd love to have you join the family. It's going to be fun. Got lots of cool things planned for the new year, lots of exciting stuff, a lot of collabs, a lot of really stupid videos that are just going to be awful and I dread. But I drug Ash into them, so all's fair in war, I suppose. But yeah, feel free to give this video a like and share it wherever you want to, you guys. And until next time, be kind. I've got a purple finger that matches my face, and make good choices.